Recently, major apps like Twitter and Reddit have made drastic changes to their APIs. While they previously offered access to third party developers and other users for free or at a low cost, they've chosen to hike rates dramatically in recent months. Today, I'm going to talk about how AI may actually be responsible for these changes, and I'll explain how the shifting landscape of API access will have a direct impact on no code and low code builders. Hi, I'm Tom from XRay.tech, the workflow company. At XRay, we use workflow automation and AI to help knowledge workers create more time every day. If you'd like to see more videos about AI, automation, and productivity every single week, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and turn on those notifications. In this video, I'm going to explain how the recent expansion of AI tools has influenced these recent API policy changes, and what it means for the automation industry more broadly. So let's get started. If you're not aware of the events I'm talking about, or just aren't sure about the details, I'll give you a quick recap on some background information. An API is an application programming interface. It is the software interface that developers use to let their applications interact with other applications from usually other companies. If you want to include data directly from an app like Twitter in your own application, you would need to use Twitter's API to request that data. Back in March, Twitter announced a new pricing plan for its API. Under this new plan, anyone using the API to post more than 1,500 tweets per month would either need to subscribe to a $100 a month hobbyist tier or shell out a five-figure sum for the enterprise plan. Similarly, in June, Reddit announced a new API pricing scheme that charges $12,000 per 50 million requests, resulting in millions of dollars worth of API fees each year for the most popular third-party Reddit apps. Many of these apps, such as Apollo and RIF, have shut down completely after the API changes took effect on July 1st. So why have companies like Reddit and Twitter decided to raise their API prices so drastically, and why did they even offer free or cheap access in the past? Ultimately, offering easy access to your API has long been seen as a great way to get more people using your app, even if they're using it indirectly through some third party. Remember the phrase Web 2.0? You probably haven't heard that one in a while. One of the key defining features of Web 2.0 was the idea that all apps would have a high degree of connectivity and interoperability, enabled in part by easily accessible APIs. For instance, everything from a simple tweet this widget or embedded Twitter feeds would use Twitter's API. This always cost Twitter some money in the past, and they were happy to shoulder that burden since it meant more eyeballs on their platform. So what changed? There isn't a single answer, and Twitter's financial situation and new ownership are certainly critical factors, both of which have been discussed at length elsewhere, so we're not going to cover that here. Meanwhile, Reddit is also gearing up for an IPO, and it's eager to show potential investors that their business model can be profitable. Raising API charges will directly bring in more revenue for a company that's never really shown a profit. Additionally, as third-party Reddit apps shut down, more users will be funneled back to Reddit's official app, where they can earn more money from ads. But while these factors are certainly an important part of each company's strategy, one often overlooked aspect that I want to cover and highlight here is the rise of AI. At this point, you've seen what AI language models can do. Apps like ChatGPT can provide shockingly good answers to nearly any prompt, and it goes far beyond simple questions and answers. Consumer AI can compose essays, blog posts, poems, and even some halfway decent code. But AI isn't able to generate all of this out of thin air. AI models have been trained on massive amounts of data from around the internet for years. To be able to generate convincing language, AI language models had to learn how we, as people, write and express ourselves. The largest and most diverse source of data for written language is, of course, the internet. And the best way to process billions upon billions of tweets, Reddit posts, Tumblr blogs, and more is to use each app's respective API. By using the API, AI developers and researchers could systematically scrape publicly accessible data much more efficiently. And all of that data could be structured neatly and consistently for their software and teams to process. With expertly trained models now making waves in every space from the healthcare sector to Hollywood, AI is now a multi-billion-dollar industry. The data that apps like Reddit and Twitter generate is more valuable than ever, but because of the way their API was priced, they really weren't getting any meaningful compensation for that data. And the AI models aren't embedding or linking to these other platforms like we would normally see with API usage before AI came around. In other words, ChatGPT doesn't tell users that a given answer was inspired by Twitter or anything like that. Twitter and Reddit aren't getting more people on their platforms from AI apps in exchange for the API usage. So, to recoup their costs and to try to make more money from the emergence of the AI industry, Reddit and Twitter are now asking for higher fees to access their API. So, how is this going to affect those of us who build apps and automated workflows with no code tools? Ultimately, no code tools are only no code for the user's side of things. Behind the scenes, platforms like Zapier and Make rely on APIs to access all of the apps that they have integrations for. With API access often being free or cheap, automation platforms can, in turn, keep their prices reasonably low as well. But if apps start to charge higher rates for their APIs to make some money off of AI data scraping, then automation platforms will have to raise their rates to keep up. This isn't just a hypothetical. In less than a month, you already see some of the consequences of Twitter's new rates. On Make's pricing page, they indicate that only paid plans can access their premium apps. Make's premium apps consist of a variety of enterprise-grade tools and just one consumer app to date, Twitter. Because if Make users started automating with Twitter for free through their platform, Make would lose money as they foot the bill for Twitter's API charges. For now, we're not seeing a lot of other apps follow suit, but it just may be a matter of time. We expect to see Stack Overflow and some other vibrant communities make similar changes in time. Hopefully they'll approach the price hikes in a more reasonable and incremental way, such as by targeting the AI companies exclusively instead of saddling all API users with huge charges. In the end though, we may be stuck paying much higher prices pretty soon, and automators certainly won't be the only people impacted. Apps and utilities focused on enhancing accessibility were some of the first to sound the alarm when Reddit and Twitter began imposing new API charges. Many accessibility features rely on being able to access application data through an API and not just through a visual interface. The companies have carved out some exemptions for accessibility-oriented apps, but the developers and the communities remain concerned about what may happen in the future. For the time being, though, builders like our team at XRay can keep using Zapier, Make, Workato, Airtable, and other no-code tools just like we always have. But in the future, these tools could start to become more expensive. If there's something you want to start automating, waiting could be very costly. It's best to start building now. So what do you think? Will we see more companies follow Twitter and Reddit's lead with API pricing hikes? What other impacts do you think AI will have on automation? Leave a comment down below and let us know what you think. If you've enjoyed this video, prove you're human, like and subscribe for more automation tips every single week. If you'd like to learn more about no-code and low-code automation, follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, and you can find all of our content on our website at xray.tech. You can find all of those links in the resources board down below, and as always, don't forget, keep the flow. Trying to future-proof yourself? Start designing the way your team works with no-code tools, automation, and AI. In XRay's Workflow Designer course, we'll show you how to break down every part of a process to find the best opportunities for automation, and how to integrate those automations into your team's daily work. You'll learn how to create time for your entire team, get more reliable results, and give everyone a newfound clarity and confidence in their work. Just go to this URL to learn more. The entire package includes over 2 hours of premium video content, challenging example projects, and tons of helpful resources. The course costs just $250 and gives you lifetime access to a Slack community of workflow designers building systems in dozens of different industries. Space is limited, so join the free waiting list today to get notified as soon as the course is live later this year. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you soon in our Workflow Designer course.